Hello, everybody. I hope my connection's okay. I got something just a moment ago that said that I had a low network connection. So let's hope that everybody can see and hear well. And welcome to Thursday Night Bhakti. So this week we're going to dive into the Mahā Mṛtyuñjaya. And so I want to tell you a little bit about the mantra. We'll talk a little about, hi Kelly, so you can hear me. I guess it is working after all. All right, so I want to tell you a little bit about the mantra. We'll talk a little bit about some pronunciation of the mantra. And then we're also going to chant some of the names of Shiva, and I'll talk to you about those and give you a little bit of translation, and then we'll just dive right in and start to chant. So the Mahā Mṛtyuñjaya comes from the Rig Veda, and the meaning of this mantra, Mahā means great, Mṛtyu means death, and Jaya means victory. So this is the great death-conquering mantra. But it's also a mantra about liberation from the big disease, the great disease of ignorance. And so a simple translation of this mantra is, we hail the fragrant three-eyed one. Now the three-eyed one is a reference to Shiva, because this is, of course, of Shiva mantra. So we hail the three-eyed one who nourishes all and increases the sweet fullness of life. As the cucumber is liberated from captivity from its vine or from its stem. So we know about how a very ripe cucumber can just fall away and we don't have to tug at it. So that's what this is in reference to. As the cucumber is liberated from captivity from its stem, may we also be liberated from death and also the big disease of ignorance, I'll say. Because when we look at it word for word, Tryambakam means the three-eyed one, Yajāmahe means we worship, Sugandhiṁ means sweet smelling, Puṣṭi means a well-nourished condition, Vardhanaṁ means one who nourishes or increases that state, Urvārukamiva, this is the line about the cucumber. This means like the cucumber or the big disease of ignorance. And Bandhanān is from captivity or from bondage. Mṛtyu means death, Mukṣīya means free, and Māmṛtāt from immortality. So that's line by line what this mantra translates to. And then we're going to sing, you know, Namaḥ Śivaya, we know that. And Hare Bhole Namaḥ Śivaya. This is just adulation or, you know, being triumphant about our honoring Shiva. And then each of these names that I've listed here that you can read, Rāmeśvarāya is a name for Shiva. Rāmeśvarāya says, to the Lord of happiness. Gaṅgā Dharāya, to the giver of the Gaṅgā river, that flow, the river that you know, is the flowing of life. Jaṭa Dharāya, he of twisted hair, having merged with nature. Someśvarāya, to the Lord of the nectar of heaven, the moon. Viśveśvarāya, to the Lord of the universe. Koṭeśvarāya, the Lord of all ages. Lingeśvarāya, He who is all in nothing and nothing in all. Yogeśvarāya, to the Lord of Yoga. So that's all of our little translations and our pronunciations. But I also want to tell you that this mantra is also known as the Markandaya Mantra. And there's a story behind that. So there was a sage whose name was Markandaya. And he and his wife were great devotees of Shiva. And they yearned for a child. They hadn't been able to have a child. They yearned for a child, and the Lord Shiva was so pleased with their devotion and their austerities that he blessed them with a boon, a wish granted. And he told them that he would grant them their wish of having a child. But there was a bit of a condition with this. Either you may have a child who is very divine, very spiritual, on a very high level, on a very high plane, but he'll die very young. He'll die at the age of 16. Or you can have a not so enlightened son who will live many, many years. And so they were given this choice, and they chose the spiritually enlightened son. And so this son they named Markandaya. And so when Markandaya was 8 years old, he knew all the holy scriptures. He was so very advanced for his age. He was advanced in all of the practices that he needed for self-realization. So he really was a very special boy. And his parents never revealed to him that his life was going to come to an end at the age of 16. But they did ask him to do his daily worship to Lord Shiva, which he did. He was very devoted to Shiva. So, on the last day of his 16th year, Yama, the god of death, came to take him. And Yama threw his noose at Markandaya. But he was sitting by the Shiva Linga, and he was doing his devotions, his daily devotions to Shiva when Yama came for him. And so with great devotion, Markandaya ignored Yama and just embraced the Shiva Linga and began to chant the Mahā Mṛtyuñjaya. It just came spontaneously to him. So Lord Shiva burst through the Shiva Linga and saved Markandaya. So he was saved from this death that was his destiny. He was saved from that, and Shiva, in fact, was so pleased with him. He saved him and blessed him to become one of the greatest living masters of the Himalayas. So that's the story about Markandaya and why this mantra is also called the Markandaya Mantra. So that's all our story time. Now we'll begin to chant together, and of course Solo's here, so she'll chant with us. Get a little bit of tabla going, a little bit of tanpura. So this is not the Vedic way of chanting this mantra. We did that another time in Thursday Night Bhakti a couple of months ago. But tonight we're going to sing it a bit.
Someśvarāya Shiva, Someśvarāya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namaḥ Śivaya. Someśvarāya Shiva, Someśvarāya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namaḥ Śivaya. Om Namah Śivaya, Om Namah Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Om Namah Śivaya, Om Namah Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Viśveśvarāya Shiva, Viśveśvarāya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Viśveśvarāya Shiva, Viśveśvarāya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Om Namah Śivaya, Om Namah Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Om Namah Śivaya, Om Namah Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Koṭeśvarāya Shiva, Koṭeśvarāya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Koṭeśvarāya Shiva, Koṭeśvarāya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Om Namah Śivaya, Om Namah Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Om Namah Śivaya, Om Namah Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Lingeśvarāya Shiva, Lingeśvarāya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Lingeśvarāya Shiva, Lingeśvarāya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Om Namah Śivaya, Om Namah Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Om Namah Śivaya, Om Namah Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Yogeśvarāya Shiva, Yogeśvarāya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Yogeśvarāya Shiva, Yogeśvarāya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Om Namah Śivaya, Om Namah Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Om Namah Śivaya, Om Namah Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole, Namah Śivaya. Auṁ Tryambakam Yajāmahe, Sugandhiṁ Puṣṭi Vardhanaṁ, Urvārukamiva Bandhanān, Mṛtyormukśīya Māmṛtāt. Auṁ Tryambakam Yajāmahe, Sugandhiṁ Puṣṭi Vardhanaṁ, Urvārukamiva Bandhanān Mṛtyormukśīya Māmṛtāt Auṁ Tryambakam Yajāmahe Sugandhiṁ Puṣṭi Vardhanaṁ Urvārukamiva Bandhanān Mṛtyormukśīya Māmṛtāt Auṁ Tryambakam Yajāmahe Sugandhiṁ Puṣṭi Vardhanaṁ Urvārukamiva Bandhanān Mṛtyormukśīya Māmṛtāt Om Namaḥ Śivaya, Om Namaḥ Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole Namaḥ Śivaya, Om Namaḥ Śivaya, Om Namaḥ Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole Namaḥ Śivaya, Om Namaḥ Śivaya, Om Namaḥ Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole Namaḥ Śivaya, Om Namaḥ Śivaya, Om Namaḥ Śivaya, Hara Hara Bhole Namaḥ Śivaya.
Thank you for being with me tonight. I hope you were chanting along to the beautiful death-conquering mantra, but also liberating us from the big disease of ignorance. And man, is that a big umbrella, isn't it? Big umbrella. So, thank you for being here. I'll be with you next Thursday again for Thursday Night Bhakti, same time. Not sure what we'll chant next week, but I'm sure it'll be something lovely that we'll all like to chant together. And the last Thursday Night Bhakti for a while, because I'll be in India for about 3 weeks or so, a little over 3 weeks. So I'll see you next week, and then we'll pick it up when I get back. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you for being with me. Solo says good night.